Yo, what's good, YouTube? Campaign Grace from Campaign Bullies. And on this episode, I'm going to show y'all how I make my puppy mush and what I use in my puppy mush. And you can start weaning the puppies off of their mom at about 3.5 weeks to 4 weeks. My puppies are 5 weeks old, so they've been eating it a couple of days now. So what you will need is a bowl to stir it in, a measuring cup, these measuring utensils, and a little spoon of any kind, water, Pedialyte. I mean, y'all all know what Pedialyte is and used for. K-Roll syrup, Dine. Now, I don't use this every time because it seems to make their stool watery a little bit, but if you want to use it every feeding, you can use it every feeding. And last but not least, baby rice. You can use oatmeal as well, but I find rice to work better for me. And of course, whatever you're going to serve the mush in. Oh, last but not least, your puppy kibble that you're going to use. Make sure you have it grounded up real fine like coffee grind. And I was using Victor's at first, but they went on a recall, and I've just been using that instead of it. So I know I said grind it up like coffee grind, so it's gonna look something like this. But I have a couple of regular pieces in there so that my puppies can get used to chewing whenever they're ready to eat whole food. So I would say when you first do it, make sure you don't have none of those clumps in there. And I kind of got it like this just so when they do eat the mush and they feel the kibble, that they can get used to it when it's dry instead of them just going straight to dry food. But do whatever works best for you and your kennel. This is what works best for me. So, first things first, I'm going to add 1 cup of kibble. And like I said, my puppies have been eating this for maybe a week or so, so my ingredients might be a little different from a puppy that's just starting off. And I might drop my formula for y'all if y'all dealing with mastitis or the mom not producing enough milk. And basically you can make your own milk here at home from scratch using, you know, natural homemade products like milk that I can't get y'all. So first things first, you want to start off with a cup of kibble. And so if you know half a cup equals 2 scoops of this equals 1 whole cup, I just measure it just in case, you know, what they always say, measure once, you know, cut twice. But in this persistence, you don't want to overly do the ingredients, because if you have too much kibble, it'll be too thick. You have too much rice or oatmeal, it'll be too thick for the puppies to actually swallow. So what I'm doing here is just proportioning it out, because reminder, every day you make this, you want to add 1/4 of kibble and 1/4 of oatmeal or rice to this mixture to make it thicker and thicker, so that when they do convert to eating straight dog food, they'll be used to, you know, the texture. So that's my 1 cup. Now, like I said, this is like their 3rd or 4th day, so I add 1/4 of kibble every day. So I'm adding 3 1/4 of kibble extra to the 1 cup. And this is 1/4. You don't have to, overdo it. But like I said, it's your preference to your dog. I have English bulldogs that are on the ground right now, so they're not greedy, but at the same time, I kind of know how they eat and kind of know what they, you know, capable of eating each feeding. So I'm gonna just add 3 scoops, 3 1/4 scoops to the 1 cup. Okay, then after that, you wanna add your baby rice. You could put milk, you could put water in it now, just so it won't be so thick, but I just add all of the ingredients in, put the water in last, and then just rock out like that. You know what? I'll do it a little different just so y'all can see how this makes it thicker when you put in the water and stuff. So, let's see. Since they on day like 5 or 6, I have my own measurements for whatever day they on, so I know how much water I'm putting in here. You want to gradually add more and more ingredients until it's just straight kibble and water, basically. And I forgot one more thing you'll need is a whisk. Can't make this without a whisk. Unless you have a grinder that you want to put all of this in. This makes it a little too thick because it's actually whipping it harder than I would actually want it to be. So, this how it'll look. Watery, you know. So, oh man, I'm forgetting ingredients. Pumpkin. Now this is 100% pure pumpkin. So if you know about constipated puppies and pumpkin, don't make no mush or no dog food without this. This will, man, it's a lifesaver. It'll keep your puppies from being constipated, and it'll also keep the digestive tract flowing and being healthy. Or you could use pure pumpkin seeds, but I found this to work great for me. So I would say, like, I'm on day 8, so I'll say when you first start off with one spoonful, but now I'm doing at least 1/4 of just pumpkin. And I might add more pumpkin to it after it locks up in the fridge, and then I serve it to the pups. I might put more pumpkin on there. Cause I'd rather know that they can use the restroom than guess. And this is not harmful to them. All this is doing is just helping their digestive system move the food through smoothly. That's all this is doing. It's not, like, if you give them too much pumpkin, it's not gonna give them diarrhea. It's not gonna, actually it helps with diarrhea. So this pumpkin is something that you should have on hand, whether you making mush, got a constipated puppy, or you got a puppy that's dealing with diarrhea. Because this stuff here works wonders. Okay, so we got our pumpkin in there. The next thing I like to use is Pedialyte. I'm using 1/4, well, not 1/4, 1/8 of Pedialyte and putting it in here. Just to keep them hydrated, you know, if anything, this is helpful and not harmful. Pedialyte is, you never can not be dehydrated. You never could not have enough hydration, especially when you are converting to this mush and eating. Don, I'm not using this time, but you could just, I guess, top it off with this. Cairo syrup, you do not have to go crazy with this. This is just to, you know, keep them up, keep them energized, this little sugar rush, you know. So it don't have to be a lot of this. And you do not have to give them this every time you make mush. You can do it every feeding if you want, every other feeding if you want. It's up to you. You just have to know your pups and know what they like and know what they don't like. So those are the ingredients that I use for the most part. And as you can see, it's starting to thicken up a little bit. Now, when they get closer to just eating raw kibble, this is how I might make it. Just straight dog food and water. But since they still learning what this is and learning how to actually eat on their own, I'm just making it easier so they can digest it. Now, my chart says that I need 3 cups of this rice to make it how I need it, according to the age that they are right now. So I'm gonna put 2 cups in here and just show y'all how quick this here thickens this stuff up. So as you can see right now, it's loose. But watch when I add this here rice. Just add a little bit of it. And immediately you can tell the difference. You see what I'm saying? So that baby rice really thickens it up. So never be shy to dispute it like this and just add it when you want to. Since I know what I'm doing, or since I know how much I want in there, I'm gonna just use my measurements and show y'all how it comes out. And of course I gotta add more water to this. But I think I like it making it this way, because when you put all this dry in there, it's hard to get it out of the bottom. So when you put all that dry and then try to put some water in there, it lock up like this here. See, it be too locked up. And you know, that ain't no fun when you trying to make this here. So I'm gonna put another cup of water, actually another cup and a half. And I've seen some people use one of those cake mixers as well. I ain't all that fancy, so I'm just using what I got. A whisk and a bowl. So this is how it's looking. You know, when I'm done with it, this mush should be able to slide through this whisk without me shaking it too hard. That's how I like it. I don't want it too thick, choke up the puppies, and I don't want it too slimy to where they can aspirate, or too watery, you know, to where they can be aspirating on food. And it's possible because I've seen dogs, one of my puppies, in fact, eat mush and it come out the nose. Mush out the nose. And that's some crazy shit. So make sure that you have a well consistent texture when you making this here. And see, like what I was saying at that bottom, look at that. That's too thick. So what I'm gonna do here is add water until it gets to the consistency that I like it. I got some more pumpkin. Let me just scrape this pumpkin on up out of here. Whatever is left. Whatever is left in this, alright. So I'm gonna keep grinding this out. As you can see, that baby rice make this thick. Woo! Yeah, get thick. So, let me see. Right here, I'm gonna go ahead and add another cup. I don't want to overdo it, make it too watery, then I'm gonna have to add more. Woo. food and stuff. Now this might be perfect. So when I'm done, I like my mush to slide through there like that there. But let me go ahead and grind this up. And another thing I found out that works pretty good is if you just let it sit and come back to it, it'll kind of be that texture that I like it to be. So yeah, when I'm done with it, it looks something like porridge. And I'm not sure if you're familiar with the Three Little Bears or the bear story, but you can make your porridge however you want it. However your puppies like their porridge, that's how you should continue to make it. Now you gotta experiment a couple of times, cause your first time, you'll figure out exactly how they eating and you know, you'll figure out what they like, what they don't like, if they eating it well, if they not eating it well. And so shoot, my last litter, I made it like this, so I found out that it works. What they say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Don't fix what works. Just like Novocaine, always works. Gotta give it time. Yeah, so I got it to the consistency that I like it to be. And like I said, when you pick that spatula up out of there, if it don't drop through there like that there, it's too thick for me. That's perfect for me. That's perfect for my little campaign bullies over there. Uh-oh, some hit the floor. And I usually make it and let it sit in the fridge, let it lock up a little bit. So when they do get it, it's kind of a solid but still mushy. And I warm it up for about 1:30 seconds, just so I won't feed it to them cold. Now they can regulate their own body temperature, but you don't want to put them in shock feeding them some cold food, you know what I mean? So let me clean up my area real quick. So this is what the ending product should look like. Mush. Yep, so the mush is ready to serve. Like I said, I like it to fall through my whisk without shaking. And that's how I know it's not too thick, it's not too watery. Ready to serve to the pups. Okay, so we're back. The mush has been sitting in the fridge for about maybe 2 or 3 hours since the last time I fed them. And the consistency is still there. And like I said, I don't like it to be too thick, but I don't want it to be runny either. And you'll see how I get when I put it in the microwave and warm it up for 1:30 seconds. So 1/4, 3 scoops of this is usually what these 2 puppies could eat. So basically, each puppy is getting 1/4 of his own and then splitting one. So I know at least, they at least getting 1/4. And like I told y'all before, I'm gonna add some more pumpkin to it, just for good measure. this is rich enough as it is. So just one of them should be cool. And throw it in the microwave for 1 minute and 30 seconds. And this is what it looked like after a minute in there. I ain't put it on 1 minute and 30 seconds. The puppies smell it. They smell it. So now they're getting a little agitated. And trust me, they'll let you know when they're hungry. They will not go a second longer than they want to if they don't have to. So now I'm just spreading this, and I like to put it on the back side of this, cause one of them likes to nosedive, and if you don't know what that is, I just call it nosediving because he put his nose in it first, and it cover up his nose. So if it's on his back wall, it kind of can't cover his nose. So you'll kind of see what I mean when I'm done with this. When I'm done putting this here on there. And believe me when I say they're gonna eat this up. Oh yeah. You see. Ready to serve. And I don't give it to them while it's this hot. It'll cool down pretty good by the time I get over there and prep and clean their paws and stuff. And I'll tune back in with y'all and show y'all that process. So, as you can see, I'm prepping the area while the food is cooling off. And they pretty hungry. They pretty pissed off at me. Probably because I'm recording and talking more than I'm moving and grooving. But it is all good. And so right now what I'm doing is taking each puppy, making sure I wipe their paws off, just in case they stepped in some poop or some pee while they were in there. Wipe their paws off. Because believe it or not, they do put their hand in the mush a little bit, and you'll see that here in a second. You might always want to wipe them, wipe their bum bum. And last but not least, I just wipe the crate just in case they got some crumbs on the crate. They want to step in and then get right back in the food. But for the most part, I'll wipe that down when I'm changing a pad, so that don't be an issue. So what I do now is I get a fresh clean towel. Get a fresh clean towel, fold it, and put it down in here. So when they're eating, they won't be slipping and sliding all over the place. And it kind of clean their paws a little bit while they eat. And so usually I have a spoon, I'll tap it, and then just let them know that it's showtime. Oh, again, oh. See, their hands go straight in there. The first thing they do is stick their hands in there. But as you can see, they go into town. They go into town. They love it. They love it. I want to see, well, see how he's moving around? That's what I call nose diving. So you see how this is all smooth? Had that been right here, his nose would have been covered. Like this right here might be a little dangerous for him. But even though I'm right here, I'll wipe his nose off if I see it covering it, or if I start hearing him breathe a little funny. And so when they start going in circles, I just reposition them to the outside and make them stand on it like that. You see, he want to stand straight, but food's so good he got to dive in. I don't blame him. But yeah, that's the mush, you guys. And as they get older, they'll like learn to not put their feet in there so much. But when they puppies, they're gonna get messy. You're gonna have to clean them. You're gonna have to wash them. And what I wash my puppies with is some medicated shampoo. You can actually get it from Walmart, Tractor Supply, or Amazon. I'll leave a link of all of the items that I'm using in this video in the description, so you guys can kind of look at them at your own risk. But yeah, man, it's pretty much how the mush process goes for me at Campaign Bullies. And I usually let them just eat until they lick the bowl clean. And for the most part, one of them will call it quits before the other. And that's how I kind of know that they're getting close to being full. But you can see their bellies is, you know. But after they eat, they usually go off to the side and poop either there or over here in the corner over there. So that's pretty much it, man. And as they get older, I'll probably only feed them this much. And if I realize that they hungrier, I'll probably just feed them seconds instead of trying to overfill this one bowl, because that could potentially be how they could, you know, cover their nose with food just because it's so much piled up. And so yeah, see, once they stop licking, that's when they come into a stopping point. So right now, what I do is start to get the soap and water to wash them off, and to start cleaning up after they eat, and put them some fresh water back in here. But yeah, that's pretty much it, man. Like I said, you see now that they done, they about to start trying to find a place to use the bathroom. So I'll tune back in with you after I clean up and prep everything after they done pooped and I wash them off. I might record me washing them off, actually. So now what I'm about to do is just give them a little simple wipe down. Clean the area inside of there a little bit. And they'll be asleep in a second. And this is the shampoo I use. I'm not sure if you can read the label if it's backwards or not, but that's what I use. And so with this, you want to make sure you get in between their fingernails, under their nails, in between their little paws, under their nails, their stomach, of course, private area, underneath their arm. You don't have to wipe their whole body, but if you notice some food or some mush on them, you want to get it off, because if it dry up, it'll be harder to get off later. And you can hear her back there smacking still. Some food still left over in there. Just make sure he's dry. Get white. Here's his bum. Set him back in there. Pick her up. Pick her up. Same process. Now he might start tweaking because he probably cold, but probably most of them they probably spoiled because once he get in there, it's sleep time. Oh, he mad. And you gotta just make sure if you don't see no crumbs, I don't mean it ain't there. So I just wipe each paw the same way as I would. Look at him, he drinking water. Good pup. This one can get dirty. And it's just a simple wipe down. You ain't gotta get it crazy. Wipe down her bum. Area a little bit, just in case some of that mush got on it. Put bed in here. They got one stew. They got the other one. This one ain't all the way dry. And that's it. Clean up. Work. And they'll be sleeping except for when the wipes I use. It's just some little cheap wipes in Walmart. Fragrance free baby wipes. Now it's time to wash our bowls and get ready for the next feeding. And just like that, you guys, we got some sound asleep puppies, nice and full. And just like that, you guys, we got some nice sound asleep puppies, nice, fat, and full. Now it's time for the next feeding.